Hello, I am back! So, I've had a couple of hiatuses recently, and I just wanted to make a quick video to go over a little bit into why that is, although not in too much detail, but mainly the channel is back. It will probably be staying back consistently now. There shouldn't be any need for any more gaps or hiatuses, and sort of what's coming up, the content, where I plan on taking the channel, things like that. So, a little bit of scheduling stuff and stuff like that as well. So, there will be some background footage, but it'll just be some generic gameplay that I decide to throw there. So if you want to tab out and just listen, that's fine. You don't actually need to watch the screen. There's not going to be anything on there that's relevant to the video. Before I go any further, I would also like to really thank the people who back the channel on Patreon, especially those who've continued supporting or started supporting over those absences. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Like, it's hard to put into words, but it is very much appreciated that you'd continue supporting even when the content isn't coming out. So thank you very much for that. It genuinely means a lot, and I don't want to just sit here saying thank you for 5 minutes, but genuinely, yeah, thank you. So, I've had a couple of hiatuses. There was one back in May and April. I didn't upload at all in those months, and then July, I took most of that month off too. I've had a lot of personal stuff going on. I don't want to go into any detail, because that's my private life. That's just weird. But essentially what that led to, well, some of it led to, is me moving house. That happened in early June, but obviously that's quite a long process, which is why I took April and May off. I was in the process of moving house, it was quite involved, and then June came around, I moved in early June, and I was like, right, I can start uploading again. It turns out, just because you've moved into the house, the moving process is not complete. Houses generally need work when you move into them, and trying to do all of that, whilst obviously I still work a full-time job and everything, just a bit more than I could handle. Obviously, we did kind of smash out June, there was a lot of content that went up, but I was running on fumes. I had nothing left in the tank. I needed to take some time away, which is why I took most of July off, get a lot of stuff sorted. There's still more going on, but most of that is now under control, manageable, I guess. So from here on out, we shouldn't need to take any more hiatuses, at least for that reason, unless something really out of pocket happens, but I don't see that happening. Obviously, otherwise it wouldn't be out of pocket, it would just be happening. Anyway, rambling aside, yeah, there shouldn't be any need for any further hiatuses. It should be back at this point. Everything should be manageable, because I was basically in firefighting mode. The only problems which were solving, be that, like, house-related, content-related, anything like that, was stuff that was immediately apparent, because, like, it was immediately necessary, because otherwise there was something else that was necessary before that. So if a video wasn't due in the next couple of days, there was, like, no chance I had to work on it. I had, like, no backlog. I burned through that super quickly. And, yeah, it just became basically unmanageable. It was completely unsustainable, which is why I took that time away. So, with that in mind, the main thing to take away is a lot of the sort of reason I had to, like, take focus off of content has sort of wrapped itself up now. So, the schedule will hopefully still be as thick as ever, if not a little bit more. Because I find it hard to, like, half commit to things. I either am pretty much, like, fully invested, like, it's a main focus for me, or I'm not really trying on it at all. And I'm sure, like with most people, you go through ups and downs with various hobbies. Like, sometimes you're really committed to them, sometimes you want to pull away a bit, but I find it hard to sort of dial it back beyond giving it, like, 100%. I just struggle with that. It's either all or nothing for me, really. So I figured it was better to just take that time away, get things sorted, and then now we're in a position to go back to that 100%. Now, one thing that's kind of become something that I really look to do is daily uploads. It's just become something that I almost pride myself on in a way. I like putting out content daily. I like putting out videos daily, multiple times a day in a lot of cases, and the new schedule will hopefully help with that. So, originally, for those of you who are unaware, we had 2 playthrough series. We had the FE12 playthrough, and we've got the Echoes playthrough. The FE12 went up twice a week, and the Echoes went up 3 times a week. That became very weird very quickly, and the reason that became very weird very quickly is because I am in love with this FE12 playthrough. I barely touched it for the last month, and I was craving to play it. I've obviously recorded a lot more of that now, so yeah. I've basically bumped that up to 3 times a week. FE12 is going up on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Echoes is still going to be 3 times a week on Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. All of that will be at 1 PM. Gameplay videos will always be at 1 PM. That just leaves Monday without a gameplay video. Now, this is where I'm just... Look, back in about December, I recorded Attempt 2 of Sacred Stone Super Hard, and I've had that video, or those videos, sat around, fully commentated and everything, for ages, because I wanted to make a sort of single video going over the full story, and I still fully intend to do that, but I also want to do the episodic release as well, so I'm just going to be releasing that on Mondays, one episode at a time. They're about an hour long, pretty much similar to the other gameplay series that are ongoing now, so that will be going up on Monday, so there will be gameplay videos every day. Now, that just leaves the non-gameplay videos. That's things like breaking down, a Fire Emblem talk, agree to disagree, tier lists, and re-uploads of, like, and edited versions of past tier lists and things like that. The aim is to get about 2 or 3, maybe more of those out a week. Sort of, like, 2 is, I guess, my minimum, but ideally I'm aiming for at least 3 a week, more if it allows it. But the other thing I really want to do at the minute is build up a backlog, because no one's going to stay 100% committed, like, firing on all cylinders to any hobby at any time. I want a backlog for when that period's hit, so if I need to take a break, I can do so with only, like, say, a minor drop in channel performance. Maybe, you know, the gameplay stuff still goes up, and maybe there's just 2 other videos a week for a couple of weeks or something. There's still a consistent stream of content, even when I need to take a break. So I am kind of pushing for that as well at the same time. But I do want to keep, like, more content coming if I can. Obviously, it's beneficial to me to put out more content, mainly because I enjoy putting out content. That's why I do it, weirdly. It's not mandatory. I'm not held at gunpoint to upload. It is something I do because I have fun with it. So, yeah, the content should be coming thick and fast. And essentially what June was is sort of the standard I want to aim for. I want really consistent videos. I want consistent gameplay stuff and consistent non-gameplay stuff. But I also want to make sure that the quality of those videos is there as well. Some series, more than others, definitely showcase that. The Fire Emblem Talk series, obviously I got help editing with those. I hired an editor for those videos, but those are so good. I know this is me bigging up my own content, but those are genuinely videos that when they go on my channel, I'm really proud to have them on there. And that's kind of the standard I want to bring a lot of my videos to. Gameplay stuff is obviously different. Gameplay stuff is just gameplay. I mean, you can do more with it, but I quite like the raw experience of just this is a full playthrough. Very little editing or fiddling going on with it. That being said, like I've mentioned with the Sacred Stone Super Hard Attempt 2, I do want to start doing some more compiled playthroughs, like a single video containing basically a rundown of a full playthrough. That will be coming, but it's a lot of work. It's something I pretty much want to undertake by myself, so when the Sacred Stone Super Hard one is done, I can actually start assessing how I feel about that type of content, but it is something I do want to push for more in the future. I guess the only other... I guess one thing I should mention, actually, before I move on, is that the non-gameplay stuff, the days aren't locked in. It basically depends whenever. Breaking Down will still be at 5 PM on Mondays, but everything else will basically just depend on when it's done and what the schedule is looking like for that week coming up. I've got my schedule pretty much mapped out for, like, the next month or so at least, so things should be pretty good in that department. But non-gameplay stuff, you know, things like a Fire Emblem Talk, Breaking Down, will typically go up at 5 PM. When I say time zones, by the way, it's the current time in the UK. I won't say BST or GMT, it's just whatever the current time is in the UK. That's the time I'm referring to. So yeah, non-gameplay stuff goes up at 5 PM, gameplay stuff goes up at 1 PM. There might be some exceptions to that. Sometimes I might upload things a bit later or a bit earlier, depending on just my needs for the day, but the easiest way to keep track of all that stuff will be in the Discord, and I'm going to make sure to keep on top of announcements and things like that in there. But in general, it's the easiest way to keep on top of things like the weekly schedule. So if you want to know specifically what's coming out that week, check the Discord. I'm going to upload a schedule in there every single Sunday, apart from the one that's just gone, because this video exists and that's kind of going over that. But yeah, the Discord is the easiest way to keep up to date with any of that stuff. Now, the only other thing left to cover is streams. Streams have been gone for a little while now. Obviously, a lot of the stuff that was leading to my personal situation, that related to the first hiatus and in part the second one as well, made it difficult for me to stream. So I don't know why I said obviously, you have no idea. But yeah, yeah, it made streaming not necessarily great for that period in time. And as a result, I kind of let it take the back seat. Now, streams will be coming back. The playthroughs will probably take a bit longer, because if I'm streaming playthroughs, I need to be able to be consistent with it. I need to be able to stream them regularly. And currently, I don't necessarily feel in a position to do so. You know, just general things like not being in the mood to stream. A bit problematic when you need to stream consistently, so... But things like tier lists and maybe some other stuff, I'd like to bring back Thursday talks in some fashion or another, at least, if not on a regular basis, maybe like just every now and again. I think they were quite fun for those who were around when we did those. But yeah, in general, tier list streams will probably be back pretty soon. I'd like to start bringing some other stuff to streams too. Playthrough stuff will be back, but just give it a little while longer. Get the video stuff under control, and like I said, I want to build up that backlog for if I need to take another break, I've got stuff to fall back on. So I want to get to that point first, and then we'll start looking at bringing back the stream playthroughs and things like that. Again, the easiest way to keep up is through the Discord, so jump in there if you want updates on when content's coming out and things like that. I think I've rambled for long enough, so... yeah, the schedule should be pretty packed coming up. We're going to have gameplay videos every day. We're going to have other stuff 2 to 3 times a week. Gameplay stuff comes out at 1 PM. Other stuff comes out at 5 PM. FE12, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Echoes, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Sacred Stone Super Hard Attempt 2 on Monday. And then when that's wrapped up, I will drop the big compilation video going over that entire series, which is something I want to look at doing more in the future. I'm just repeating myself at this point. Let's wrap this up. So yeah, content proper resumes tomorrow with some FE12, and I will catch you all then. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you again to the people who back the channel on Patreon, and again, huge thanks for continuing to support during the absences. I can't thank you enough. It means a lot. Thank you. And without any further ado, I'll let you get on with your day. I'll catch you all later. Goodbye.